So welcome everyone. My name is Laura. I'm a customer success manager here at Textline. And in today's webinar, we're going to discuss how to build a customer-obsessed culture for your sales team. So what do we mean by customer-obsessed culture? So basically, it's when your entire organization is driven to discover the customer needs and to respond to those immediately. It's when you think about your customers first and before them, and you understand the value that your customers bring to your organization, so you always try to meet their needs, know what their needs are, meet their needs, and then even surprise them with additional services or things that you can do in order to best address what they need and what they expect from your product. Now, we're going to talk about business texting and Textline, and we're going to see how texting can help you be customer obsessed and how to achieve that. So I'm going to walk you through some background on the customer obsession culture, and then some real examples from companies who currently use Textline and how they're using it within their sales teams in order to make the most out of their potential to close deals faster and close more deals. So business texting offers the fastest and most effective way, and also cost-effective way, I have to say, to reach the broadest number of potential customers and address their needs. Text messages are fast, they're effective, and they're friendly. And your phone is optimized to receive them. So when I say optimized, what I mean is that it's really easy to receive a text and read a text without even having to take any action, because the text message will live on your lock screen. You'll get notified either through either visually or through an audible notification. So there's no way you're going to miss your text message. What's I think really important here is to say that 98% of the times people will actually see their message and open their message, and 95% of the times people will actually read the text message within just 3 minutes. So pretty much everyone reads their text minutes within just 3 minutes after they received it. And then 45% of people will actually go ahead and send a response. So you can understand why this is really important. These numbers are quite compelling when talking about 45% people sending you a response. This is hardly the rate in traditional email campaigns of people just opening an email, right? So now you know that 98% of people will actually see your text message, and almost half of them will respond to your text messages. So this is a great opportunity to think about how you're going to make the most out of Textline, you're going to make the most out of texting, just so you're not going to miss any opportunity of your customers actually taking the steps that you want them to take in order to convert. So because texting is so effective, it has there have been studies that show that it can increase your conversion rates by 7 times. So it's 7 times more likely to close a sales opportunity when you reach out to a customer within just an hour of the customer contacting you. And what's also interesting is that there's a great opportunity out there for you and other companies, because as we can see, it seems that just 2/3 of the customers are actually taking advantage of texting. So what's really, really important about doing this right is understanding what your customers' needs are, right? So think about how busy our lives have become and how little time we have to spare. So having the prospect of one glance as enough to convert your leads is priceless, right? So don't take this lightly. Just try to make the most out of this opportunity. So it's really important to have a strategy. Don't just pursue your leads at face value. Dig a little deeper, find out who your customers are, find out what is that they need, and try to give it to them, and also give them what they need and what they asked for, but also what they don't expect. So the more you know about your customers, the better you can actually address their needs, the better product you can offer to them, and you will be and that will be the first step to uncover their needs, and then the next step will be to deliver on those. So a recent survey showed that most of the customers are totally okay with being contacted for any products or sales or promotional offers, discounts, or products that they would be interested in. So as you can see from the survey, customers do like to being contacted when it comes to information that they're actually interested in. And then what you also know from the slides before is that the fastest you reach out to them, the fastest you respond to them, the more likely you are to close a deal. So I think what we're trying to say here is that it's a two-way road. It's really important to know what your customers need, and then it's really important to find the right way and follow the right steps in order to communicate this the right way. So today we're going to focus more about the communication piece, because to find out what they need, I think that that is something that most of you would already know, and it really depends on digging a little deeper in order to understand what your customers' needs are. Of course, you can do this through texting as well, because through texting you can engage into authentic conversations with your customers, which then can help you and kind of enable you to get closer to your customers, so that they tell you what is that they need, they can give you feedback, and they can be also authentic in their communication with you, so that you can deliver the product that they're expecting to get. So some main principles here are to make sure that your customers will know how to find you and where to find you. So it's important that they know that they can text you if they have questions, or if they're interested in your product. It's really important that you pay attention to getting your customers right away, right when they show interest to your product, so that you don't lose that opportunity. Then personalize your messages. The tone is really important. Make it feel as real as the text conversations they're having with their friends and their families, because that's how we all communicate with our friends and families nowadays. Find the optimum times. That's also really important. Timing is key, and you all being in sales, you know that. And then strategize. Come up with a plan. Think about how you can optimize any touch point you have with your customer, and build a cadence. These are some of our customers who are currently using Textline within their sales teams to close deals and help their customers have a better experience, and also their teams to be more effective. All right. So make your number accessible, like we said before. I think that's really important. So a lot of the times when we think about sales, we think about outreaching to customers and having a certain number or pool of leads and trying to reach out to them. But a lot of the times what we forget is that we can create an inbound opportunity, and that doesn't cost anything, and it's really easy, and you also provide a good experience for your customer. So you know how many times we're just browsing our social media, and there's those ads for several products that come up, and we don't really, it's a product that we didn't really know it existed, or we didn't really think about it much, and it catches our attention, and we start thinking, what if I like these pair of shoes, and what if I do want to order this service, right? So sometimes you're not sure, but it seems appealing, and you want to dig a little deeper, but you don't want to take the time to research or call or email. You have questions and you can just text, because you can see there's a little icon there that prompts you to text, right? So this is what our customer here, this company, is doing. So this company, it's also e-commerce, but they also have physical stores, physical locations. However, they make sure that they make it super easy for any person who's interested in purchasing from their brand to actually text them. So they make sure that in every single touch point that a customer has with their company, that could be their website or social media or their Google search. So their forms, pretty much any place that a customer has any touch point with a company, they can quickly just click at a button and get prompted to text them, just because they know that it's really easy for everyone to text, right? So we already know that, and they know that. So they want to make it easy for everyone. So in this case, they have their text number on their social media, on their Instagram account, and people can just text here, or actually, I'm sorry, I meant they can just click that button that says text, and that takes them directly to their native texting app on their phone. And that prompts them to just send a text message. Very easy. So as you can see here, the customer was just browsing at a pair of shoes. They weren't sure if they want to buy it or not. So they started asking questions. One of them was about the size and how run or big or small they run. So they sent a simple text, and then that sales representative on the other end of Textline responded back, gave them advice, just like they would give them advice being in a physical store, and help them make a decision. So that's how it gets done, right? So simple. It's so fast. They didn't have to go too far. They didn't have to spend a lot of money. They just had to post it on their social media, and then that created an inbound lead. Perfect. Now, another thing that we mentioned before is engaging with your customers early on. And I think this is extremely important because you can get up to 50% conversion when you follow up right away with a customer. So between 35 and 50% of sales go to the business that follows up with the customer first. So that shows you that if you're really quick and you get the customers right away, right when they show interest to your company or your product or your service, then you increase your chances of converting them. This example here is from our own sales team, and this is something that other sales teams, other companies that use Textline are currently doing. So what we do is every time there's a contact form that our customers need to fill in, and we have a lot of different contact forms. They submit the contact form. That contact form includes their mobile information, and we right away text them, actually push the contact form into Textline as a text message. So every time a customer submits a form, it creates a text message that gets pushed right away into our Textline conversation list. So our agents, our sales team can go and see those text messages and get back to the customer right away. This is something that I know that several of our customers are working on right now as we speak, just because this is just a great potential. Again, it doesn't cost anything. It's when your customers, there's so many different forms nowadays in our website. So they might request a demo, they might have a question, or they might ask for a quota. Or they might just want to find out more about your product. So it's so simple. You just connected with Textline, and that sends a form right away into Textline. And the benefit of that is that you get to the customer right away. So they just showed interest. You don't want to lose that opportunity. You can choose whatever information you want to push. We like to have all this information. That tells us about the customer. So we created an automation. So this is an automatic text message that is the initial text that the customer receives. The customer doesn't see on the other end the form that got pushed into Textline as a text. It's us and our agents or sales team that they're the only ones who can see all this information. So we send a text and we basically say, hi, you showed interest in our product and would love to learn more about your business. Are you interested for a call? So we introduce ourselves and we give them a very clear call to action. And this is something that automatically gets triggered from us, but it still looks very personable and very real. And the customer responded yes. And you can see that this entire thing happened within a minute. So within the first minute that the customer submitted a form, they already agreed that they want to get on a call with us. And then a real person, a real salesperson from our team got back to them right away to help them set up a call. So think about that. Think how fast you can get your customers to start talking to you and discussing a call or whatever you want that next step for your customers to be in order to convert them. That's really powerful. Great. So moving on, another thing that we discussed is how to personalize your communication with your customers in order not only to avoid being spammed, but also to make them connect with your brand. And I think this is a great example here. It's really powerful because you want eventually to have your customers feel that they're part of your brand, that they know someone in your company who they advocate for them, who they are their point person, and they're their special person just for them. And you can do all of this in a very streamlined and effective and also fast way. So this example from this company, they are a marketplace for beauticians. So beauticians can go and download the app and set up their shop, their profile on the app. And then customers who are interested in a service, they can go and just search for the service that they're interested in and book it, right? So think about Audrey, this hairdresser here who has her own hair salon, and she's busy all day. She doesn't have the time to go on calls or pick up the phone or, send and reply to emails. But of course she's on her phone, right? Because that's also how she would communicate with her customers. Like she would text, she can see that, she can see the text messages, but she's always standing and working. So she doesn't have the time to just be answering any call that comes in. So Audrey, what she did was she went and downloaded that app because it seems pretty interesting. That app will help her to basically not have to be on the phone all the time to schedule customers. It will make it so easy for her to book people. So she downloaded the app, and Carla, the sales rep from the app, saw that. And now what she wants to do is she wants to reach out to Audrey and make sure that she properly sets up her account on their app so that she makes the most out of it. She can see the value and the benefit of it and eventually convert and start paying for the app. So Carla reaches out. She says, hey, Audrey. So she refers to Audrey with her first name. That means that she knows who she is. It says, I saw you downloaded the app. I wanted to walk you through the setup process. So she explains why she's reaching out, and that's a very valid reason. And then she says, I can also help you. I can also help link your Facebook and Instagram business pages to your app to make sure you can increase the chances of getting booked. So she also gives her added value, which Audrey didn't know she can do that, but there's a clear benefit. And then she asks her if there's a good time to talk, and closes with her name. So she introduces herself, she refers to the person with her name, and she has a very clear call to action and also a bonus added value there that Audrey didn't even know. So Audrey responded to her, as you can see, and she seems pretty personable as well and friendly. And she tells her a good time to call. And then she also, after Carla confirms that she's going to give her a call, Audrey thanks her. And I think that's really important to pay attention here, because think about this. Would you thank someone after you receive a text, for example, or an email that said, looks like you downloaded the app. Let us know if you need help setting it up. Would you say thank you to that text? You wouldn't, right? Because you would feel like it's an automated message and you're talking to a computer and not a real person. So a true way, a true two-way business text messaging system has to have an element that people see as real, and Textline has that. So it's good to automate your texts, but you need to be ready to then follow up with real response. Just show them that they're real people who are involved and that you care about the concerns that your customers have. And that's something that you can achieve with Textline. So Carla here used one of her shortcuts. She has this text that you just saw there, the introduction text. She has it as a shortcut, so meaning a pre-populated text message. She added the variable field, so every time it populates the name of the customer, so she doesn't even have to type anything. She just pulls up the shortcut and sends it. So that's an automation. You can also have it triggered automatically using your API every time someone downloads the app, or you can have this be an announcement. So there's a lot of ways that you can automate and make this faster and easier for your team and have a happier team, while at the same time keeping it very personalized, very real, and then having your team actually responding to any replies they get from their customers. Or from their leads, actually. So I think this makes a really good point to how you can effectively have a plan, build it into your cadence, and keep your communication very personable. All right. Now, the other thing that we mentioned is timing. So finding the optimum times is really key. And an example that I brought up here is from another company who offers home services. So it's, again, something like a marketplace where people can go and find a repair person or a handyman for a specific job that they have at home that they need to fix. And this customer here needed to have someone to come over, to their place and just set up their backsplash on their kitchen. And they did reach out to the company a while ago, but they never followed through. So they never actually closed that deal. So this company now, they have an opening, they have some downtime where their fixers, their handymans are free, and they have an opening between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. On a specific week. So they're trying to fill up their gaps there. Right? So they created this tag in Textline for all of their customers who fell through the cracks and didn't follow through on completing a job and converting. And they go into Textline, they go to announcements, they pull up that tag. So they create an announcement, a personalized announcement. They add the variable fields. So the first name of the customer will come up. And so the text message will be very personable. And they target business hours, which is the optimum times to text. And they send their text message to all of these people who did show interest in the past, but didn't complete their service. And you can see that one of their customers responded. So they did take advantage. Again, didn't cost anything. They already had those leads, and they're trying to reuse them, basically. The customer responded, they are interested, and then again, they're discussing a time for a call. So instead of cold calling that list of people who never completed and went through the service and just guessing that they would pick up their phone or listen to their voicemail, which is very rare because a lot of people don't even have a voicemail anymore. But yeah, instead of guessing, they send out a text. People who are interested respond because they will read the text. So they know that they're truly interested. And they'll find a time for an actual call or for whatever the next step in the process is going to be. So there's a lot you can do with Textline, with announcements feature, with the schedule messages feature, and with the reminders feature. So say someone said, oh, I'm not interested now. I am interested, but this isn't good time. And can you get back to me in like a couple of weeks? Then you can just set a reminder. You can type the text and send it again and send it on its own in 2 weeks, So it's like there's so much you can do. And that way you also show that you're truly interested and you truly care about your customers. Great. So last but not least is adding Textline into your cadence. This example is from another company who uses Textline for sales, 1-800-GOT-JUNK. So what they do is they, every time a customer, so basically they are a junk removal company, for those of you who are not familiar. What they do is they come over to your place. If you have junk that you want to remove, after they schedule an appointment, they come over and they remove your junk for a cost. And customers can go online and submit a form and just say, well, I'm interested in, in junk removal from my place. And then the company would follow up and discuss with them the junk that they need to get removed and offer a quote, and also agree on a day and time for the removal. So what you see here in this conversation is a continuation from a long conversation that they had where the customer submitted the form, then the form got pushed into Textline, and the sales rep in Textline saw that form in their thread, in their conversation list, and they reached out to the customer and they started discussing on the stuff that they need to get removed. So they, the customer, the lead sent them pictures of the stuff they want to get removed, and then the agent gave them a quote, and then they agreed on the price, and they agreed on the day and time. And as you can see here, that's done, and they gave them the instructions on what's going to happen the day of. So closed deal, right? So that's a closed deal. It's sold. Perfect sale. They did it really fast, right when the customer was interested. They didn't lose the opportunity. They texted them. They agreed on that. What a relief, both for your team because they love closing deals, and also for the customer because it didn't have to take long. Super simple. Now, what they do here, and I love that, is that they figured out that a lot of the times the customers have more things to get removed, just that they didn't think about it. So after they found out about their customers, they decided to add it into their cadence. So they created this strategy where they're like, okay, what if the customer wants to get more stuff removed, which might be the case. Now, let's create the sense of urgency and give them something like an opportunity to remove more stuff at the same time. So it makes it easier for the customer. It's something that they didn't think about. It's more like a surprise thing for them. It's last minute, so it does create that sense of urgency, but it also can be a relief if they truly have things to get removed. A few hours before the actual appointment for the removal, they send another text and they ask them if they have anything else they'd like to get removed. And you can see here how the customer did actually have more things to remove. They had a rag that they also wanted to get removed. And, so now they also agreed on that, and they have a second sale closed, just even before getting there and doing the job. So you can see how great this is. It's an opportunity that it's a complete bonus for both the company and the customer. So adding text messaging to your overall sales strategy is cost effective. It's a very nice way to increase your range, and it can be used to bolster your other campaigns, your marketing campaigns, and it's a great place to also test other marketing ideas. So I'm going to summarize here and just say, I think this was a great example that it shows that not only you can have your sales team help customers or leads to convert, but you can also use Textline and texting to partner with your marketing team and create inbound leads. You can also create those inbound leads just by not spending any additional dollar, but just by making your number available, your text number available, and by just asking your customers if they need things that you think they're going to need so that they will pay you more. So it's all part of being customer obsessed, talking with your customers, understanding what is that they need, being there for them right away, and always being making them feel that they're part of your brand because you are close to them and you are the brand and you represent the brand. Great. So I think that summarizes what I wanted to present to you today. I hope that made a good case for why customer obsession can help you drive your sales and close more deals faster. And now I'm going to see if you have any questions, get those questions answered, and ask you for some feedback. If you have any questions, this is the time to ask. You can always text us in Textline or text this number, the 415-849-4349, and our support team will get back to you right away. You can always email our support team, and of course you can ask for a demo if you're still considering Textline.